What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be ranking all of the Transformers movies. There are currently 9 movies altogether, and yes, I'm going to not only include the Michael Bay Transformers movies, but I'm also going to include the Beast Wars movie. I'm going to include the original 1986 movie, and I'm going to include Bumblebee and Transformers 1. So yes, there are 9 movies altogether, and a lot of interesting steps and obstacles to get through. With that said, if you have any suggestions on what I should do next for my upcoming videos, please leave them in the comments below. And if you have your own list of the Transformers rankings, please leave them in the comments below. And remember, these are just my opinions. Not saying my opinion matters more than yours. I'm just saying that these are the movies that I think that are worst to best. Okay, let's get to it. In last place, we have Transformers Dark of the Moon. This is the third Michael Bay Transformers movie that came out in 2011. And man, this movie was so underwhelming, so bad with its characters. And man, they made Sam Witwicky, played by Shia LaBeouf, even more unlikable than he was. I know they try to give him an arc in the end of this movie, but majority of this movie, he is so unlikable. He is such a dumbass, and he's so out there as a character. And also they ditch Megan Fox as the female lead, which again, not a big loss. Then they get someone else who doesn't even hold her own in this movie either. She's actually worse than Megan Fox. And I'm like, dude, how do you go from Megan Fox's terrible acting to someone else's terrible acting? I feel bad for the actress that she was put in this position, but man, she wasn't good. And also, the action in this movie just felt really underwhelming. There was a lot of action in this movie, but I was not a fan of how underwhelming and how slow paced that the action felt compared to the first two movies and later movies after this. But it this movie just was complete dog shit, and I did not like it. And again, the character study was just not there either. Was not a fan of the acting. It fell out of place for me. I did not like this movie. So yeah. Coming in at number 8, we have Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And when I first saw this movie in theaters, I thought it was eh, but rewatching it again recently, I actually kind of think it got worse, in my opinion. It Okay, let's talk about the okay things. I do like the visuals and some of the action's pretty good, but I'm still not a fan of how they butchered Sam's character. And he's actually a lot more weirder in this movie. I know he's like possessed by like the cube or some shit, but like he's still an odd character throughout the entire movie, and his character is inconsistent throughout. And Megan Fox's acting in this movie has not gotten any better. It just got worse. And there's the college scenes slow the movie down. The side characters and the dialogue aren't that great, and the action doesn't like matter and make sense until the end of the movie, but it's only for a few seconds, and it just sucks. You know what I mean? And I'm not a fan of that little. I'm not a fan of that little character that they brought in, the little mini transformer character, and it 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 just felt off. And also, yeah, the music can go back and forth between being to but I'll give the movie credit. It did introduce me to 21 Guns, and that's still my favorite song. So it that still has a place in my heart. But other than that, I was not a fan of this movie. Coming in at number 7, we have Transformers: The Last Night, and this movie gets a lot of hate. Like, it's not a good movie per se because it's clearly where it is on my list, but it doesn't deserve the hate that it's getting, like the full on hate that it gets. Yes, its plot is so colluded with like a bunch of different side plots, and a lot of the characters and dialogues don't really make it work. And yes, some of the visuals can get a little over the top, but the action is still pretty decent. Mark Wahlberg, though not in the film as much as I'd hope he would be, he brings a lot of what he brought to Age of Extinction, and I like the character of Kate Yeager. I'll get more to when I talk about Age of Extinction, but yeah, it's not a good movie because again, so many plot changes, so many weird characters and dialogue, so many odd visuals, and a lot of dragging. But again, the action's good, and Mark Wahlberg tries his best to make it work. And I like at the beginning, I do like the torment and confliction within Optimus Prime, and it's really good, but not great. But the movie's not good. Coming in at number six, we have Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and this was actually a surprise. I was actually not expecting to like this movie as much as I thought I would. It it's got a cool, unique style. The action's pretty fun, and the performance from Pete Davidson playing Mirage was surprisingly really good. And I like Anthony Ramos's performance. I'm not a fan of the other human characters, but he did pretty good. And though it could drag a bit here and there, I still like how fast paced and quick and slick the action was in this movie. It was really good, and I really recommend it. It's not my number one favorite, clearly, but it's an enjoyable movie. Coming in at number five, we have the Transformers 1986 animated movie. And I'm not going to lie, I recently just watched this for the first time. I have no nostalgia tied to it or anything. And when I watched it, I really liked it. I enjoyed it really much. And I love the fast paced action. I love the epic score. I love the despite it being the 80s, it's oozing with creative visuals. And man, there is so much heart in this that I was not expecting to like be emotional towards it. Yeah, there are some filler scenes and some side plots that don't make sense and a few weird characters here and there, but I I enjoyed this movie for what was given to us. I might actually watch it again at some point cuz it's a really good Transformers movie. I totally recommend it. Again, the Transformers 1986 movie. It's amazing. Coming in at number four, we have Bumblebee. And from the get go, when this movie was announced, I was both excited, but I was also kind of worried just because I wasn't a huge fan of some of the other Transformers movies, and I was afraid that they were going to muck it up somehow. But when I heard Michael Bay's name wasn't attached to it, and it was going to be a whole new different story, I was like, okay, I'll warm up to it. And then when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this looks awesome. And when I saw the movie, I was like, yes, this is awesome. I love this movie. It's fun. It's got an interesting protagonist. It's got really cool, slick action. It's not overblown with its action, and it's got really cool villain side plots. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Plus, they got Dylan O'Brien to voice some of Bumblebee's lines, which is pretty cool. Um, I just wasn't a fan that they made him quiet. I know he's quiet through the other movies, but like, come on, get Dylan O'Brien and you don't have him voicing through some of the movie, through most of the movie. Ugh. But yeah, Haley Steinfeld is a really good protagonist, and I like her character. And I love the '80s aura of the film, and it's not '80s where it's like where it's to the point where it's bludgeoning it into your head, but it's like a natural kind of '80s film. You know what I mean? So this movie really works, and I recommend it for people who haven't seen it. Coming in at number three is a surprising one, which is Transformers One, not the first Michael Bay movie, but the new animated movie that came out recently. Um, Transformers One, from the trailers, I was kind of like, just kind of looks like a weird buddy cop movie to me, and it looks cool and inventive, but I didn't think anything of it. But when I watched the movie, not only was it funny, not only was it creative, not only did the characters hold their own, but the action was so good. The visuals amazing. And literally the smallest details, even the framing and the zoom ins, which I'm not usually a fan of, are fucking phenomenal. Like everything from the detail of the visuals to the characters and to the growth of the characters or the downfall of the characters. It it all feels like a legit good Transformers movie, and I'm like, dude, this is a really good movie. Like, they were really holding out on the creativity and the storytelling within these movies for years, and we finally get a good one. I'm like, dude, this movie's awesome. I might go. I actually, it was so good. I went to go watch it twice. It's just really good, really creative, really funny, and really emotional at some points. And it has really good storytelling, and the storytelling is spoken through visuals. I love it. And coming at number two, we have Transformers, the original Michael Bay movie from 2007. And honestly, like, for a while, I was told that I should hate these movies. So for a while, I was saying, "Oh, I hate all these movies." But rewatching the first movie, it's a really good, like, starter for this franchise. It's it's slow paced to not where it's insulting, but it gets to the good stuff quick, but it like takes its time. And then also Shia LaBeouf is actually kind of likable in here, though he has his odd moments, but he has his quirky moments too where he holds his own. Again, can't be said about the sequels. But yeah, he does really good. And Megan Fox, even though she's not the best in here, she at least somewhat tries, which is more I can say for any of her career, minus Jennifer's Body. Uh, and honestly, the action, though it can get a little too much, it really has a subtle. It really has a more grounded take on its epic actionness, and I'm like, okay, okay. Optimus Prime's cool, the music's great, and Megatron rising from the depths is pretty cool. And then the fight in New York was pretty cool. Again, even though it was a little over the top, I love the fight in New York. I also love the I also love the dialogue. Most of the dialogue in here. Some of the dialogue could use some work, but most of the dialogue is pretty good. It can range from intense. It could also range from funny. It could also range from emotional. It's just This movie's a really good Transformers movie, and again, the sequels have their ups and downs, but this movie right here is really good, and I feel like it's the best. It's one of the best out of the Michael Bay movies, but it's not number one. So now let's get to my number one. And coming at number one is Transformers Age of Extinction. Man, honestly, I was about to be done with these Transformers movies after I watched the other sequels, Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon, because those movies were bad. But when I watched Age of Extinction, not only did we get a good, strong male lead, which is Cade Yeager, played by the awesome Mark fucking Wahlberg, not only do we get a good depth into his character within and the strong relationship with him and his daughter. Not only is the music great, not only is the action paced out in different parts of the movie instead of it just being a one swoop and go. Not only is the music great, but this movie oozes storytelling to a core. I know people say that it drags too long and that there's not enough action, which honestly, there's a ham. First off, there's a handful of action in this movie, and second of all, that's a good thing. I love that they pace the action in different spots of this movie, so we can get a sense of these characters of who they are, and we can pace ourselves with good storytelling. This movie does a good job with its storytelling. I was worried that this was going to be a repeat or an even more downgraded sequel than the other sequels, but no, this movie was actually good. I was so impressed with how well this movie was made. And I was like, dude, this is a Michael Bay production? That's rare. But yeah, this movie's amazing. It's it's not Academy Award winner or anything, but it's honestly the best Transformers movie I've ever seen. Plus, we got freaking Transformer dinosaurs in here. Come on. That is awesome. Like, I was so impressed with the storytelling, with the visuals, with the action, and with our main character. Again, I still feel Cade Yeager is the strongest lead in any of the Transformers movies. Like, it it works. And even in the last night, as I mentioned, even though it's not a good movie, Cade Yeager, with how much screen time he's given, he does a really good job once again in that movie. Yeah, this movie is awesome. And if anyone doesn't agree with me, I'm sorry, but this just is the best Transformers movie in my opinion. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any other suggestions on what I should do next, whether it's movie, TV show, or even music related, leave them in the comments below. And if you have your own ranking of these movies, again, leave them on the bottom, leave them in the comments below. And remember, these are just my opinions. I'm not saying my opinion matters more than yours. I was just giving my take on what the worst to best of these movies were. Anyway, I'm Steven Padilla, and I'll see y'all later.